Hello, my name is Christa. I am a personal trainer and yoga instructor at the Richmond Olympic Oval. Okay. Today's class will be a 30-minute core fusion sequence, so we'll focus on movements relating to the core, and we'll combine some yoga and Pilates exercises. Okay, so what is our core? Our core, if we look at or think about the body and notice what's at the very center, we have our spine. Okay, much like an apple, at its very center there's a core, and there's a bottom, and there's a top. So I'll put that there. We have a bottom or a root of our spine, or the base, and we have the top being the top of our head, or where our spine connects into our head. So any muscle that works to mobilize or stabilize our spine is essentially a core muscle. So we're going to target those muscles today. Along the spine we have locks, energy locks, places where we can hold tension that creates stability, and around that stability we can develop effective mobility in the joints that surround it. So we have our root lock at the base of our spine, which is also called our mula bandha. We have above that our belly lock around the navel, which is also called Uddiyana bandha. And we have just above our shoulder girdle, we have our throat lock, which is Jalandhara bandha. So we're going to integrate activation of these bandhas to create support for our movements. Our movements will be somewhat subtle in the beginning and increase with effort and intensity as we carry on. Okay, so let's begin with breath. Give our shoulders a roll, relaxing them back and down. Okay, and even before we begin our class, if there's any injury or reason why we shouldn't practice a class, then just use your discretion and know that if there's anything going on in your body that's causing pain, then please discontinue. If you knowingly have osteoporosis, some of the flexion movements, particularly from the floor, should be avoided. Okay, okay, let's move back to our attention on our breath. And simply, it's about awareness in the beginning. So as we breathe in, we're aware that we're breathing in. And as we breathe out, we're aware that we're breathing out. Deep breath in. And allow that breath to move out in a nice long exhale. As much as we can, if we can integrate our core muscles, supporting the spine in a tall position, but allowing our belly muscles to expand with our breath so our lungs can fill. Excellent. I'm going to add some music while we continue with breathing. Good, and if we're comfortable, we can certainly close our eyes. So let's think about the base of our spine, and we may be able to relate to that awareness or that activation by imagining stopping the flow of urine. And then visualize our belly lock, so around our navel, and we may relate to this as though all of our muscles are hugging our spine. And our throat lock is an activation that's occurred if we just draw our chin down towards our chest, even a swallow, to feel the energy and the light tension we create there. Good, a couple more breaths. And then now let's integrate our arm movements with our pelvic floor, or mula bandha. Inhale, lifting the energy upward through the pelvic floor. Hold and release. Inhale, draw the navel in, giving the spine a hug. Lifting our arms, a brief hold and release. Draw our chin to our chest, locking it in, deep breath in. exhaling and release. Let's do all three, from the pelvic floor, our belly lock, our throat lock. A little more energy here as we lift, create energy from the root lock, the belly lock, the throat lock, holding, lifting our energy upward. 3, 2, 1, exhale. And one more, deep breath in, lifting the pelvic floor, activating the belly lock, activating our throat lock. Hold 3, lift 2, and 1, and release. Good, give our shoulders one quick roll. We're going to move ourselves down to the floor. So let's hold one leg and ease ourselves down nice and slow. If we can hold lighter, that might give the abdominals a little bit more of an opportunity to work. Okay. So on the floor, let's become aware again of our belly breath. Place our hands on our belly, inhale. As we imagine our belly pushing our hands away, exhale and release. Good. So subtle movements. We're going to begin with a pelvic tilt. So we have 3 bones in our pelvis, one on the right, one on the left, and then both joined together down at the base where our pubic bone is. So those are the 3 points. We're going to think about tilting our pelvis so that our pubic bone is drawn towards our chin. And then tilt the other way where our pubic bone is drawing away from our chin, going back and forth. So let's keep this movement nice and low, just focused on the pelvis. This is where we're looking at stability through the low part of our spine and holding a stable position through the rest of our spine. Good, let's do one more. And actually, if we do another one, think about the spine, feeling our back lower towards the floor. We're not jamming our spine onto the mat, but we're feeling that space shrink, the space between our low back and our spine. Holding this in a neutral position, now let's focus on the middle to upper part of our spine. If we lift our arms, inhale, we might be inclined to lift the rib cage up, creating a huge amount of space under the back. We want to move our arms while holding stability through the spine. Exhale, circle around. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, circle around. And lifting up, so noticing if we have any tendency to lift the rib cage up. And one more deep breath in. Exhale, big circle around. Good job. So now let's focus on our neck. So here we're going to lengthen through the back of our neck. Exhale, draw the chin down. So that's our Jalandhara Bandha. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, drawing the chin down. Inhale, a little more length. Exhale, drawing the chin down. And again, inhale, lengthen, and drawing the chin down. Okay. So activate Mula Bandha, our pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, our navel center, and Jalandhara Bandha here. Holding is creating a sense of stability as we hold. Feeling our breathing, wanting to expand our body as we exhale. Bringing that connection deep into our core center. We can feel our pelvic floor, our belly lock, and our throat lock engaged. And usually about 20 to 30% effort. It doesn't need to be a ton more than that. Good. All right. So now we're going to integrate some stability with our spine as we move our legs in the hip joint. So if our knees aren't bent, please do so. And start with the right side, let the right leg tip out to the side and come back. As it tips out towards the floor, the goal is not necessarily to touch the floor. The goal is to keep the opposite side nice and stable. Moving in the hip joint effectively while we can create stability in the pelvis and the lumbar spine. Good, let's do the other side. So reset and stabilize. Let the left knee wander out and return. Again, we're refraining from lifting through the back, lifting the back off of our mat, keeping it nice and stable. And good. So now we're going to do some leg circles. Let the right leg go out to the side. Keep the left side stable, extending the leg. Rotate the toe and knee back to the sky and drag the foot back. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Good. Deep breath in. And another one. Good. So let this leg draw towards the opposite leg, going inwards. We're creating a circle in the other direction and rotate out. So again, it's about moving the leg in the hip joint while maintaining pelvic stability and stability of the lumbar spine. Good, let's go to the other side. So reset if we need to. Activate our pelvic floor, our belly lock, and our throat lock. And let our left knee wander out to the side, extending it long, rotating the toe and knee up, and bringing it back. Inhaling, nice long breath, and exhaling. Deep breath in. Concentrating on the stability. Creating effective movement through the joint. Let's go the other way. Knee wanders in towards the opposite, rotating it out long, and bringing it back. Inward, extending, rotate outward and back, and again inward. Good. And bring it back. Good work. Okay. All right, so we're going to do the same thing but with our leg long. So we're going to extend our left leg, bring our right leg up to the sky. So we're going to create small circles again. It's about moving through the hip joint with spinal stability, using our core muscles to keep it stable. Okay, drawing a circle with our toe, but moving from the hip. 3 and 4 and 5. Going the other way across the body. Circle 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Good. Other side. Anchoring the right side, hip included, and lifting the left leg. Moving our circle outward and in. Reaching out, draw in. Here's 3. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Excellent. Cross over. So smaller circles may be more appropriate for us, a little easier to maintain the stability. As we develop that control, our circles can get a little bigger. And there we go. Good work. Okay. Bring our knees to a bent position. Good. All right, so we're going to do some yogi abs. You can see as I'm lifting my head, I'm not wanting to sit all the way up. So I'm going to start down on the floor, focusing on lengthening the spine, activating from Mula Bandha, including Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha, our root lock, belly lock, and throat lock. I'm going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, lifting just the head and shoulders, and release. Exhaling. So as we create the energy here through our abdominals, as we lower, we don't want to lose that tension. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale, 4. Let's do 5 of these with our arms at our sides. 5. 6. Did I say 5 or did I say 8? 7. Let's do 8. And 8. Good work. So next 8, we can place our fingers behind our ears. Deep breath in, lengthening, exhaling. Come on up. 1. 2. Maintain that energy deep through the core. 3. 4. Remember, the object is not how high we can get up. It's about the control. 5. 6. 7. And 8. All right, so one more set. We can repeat any of the ones we just did with our arms at our sides or fingers behind our heads, or add a little more intensity by lifting our feet up. Deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Inhale, 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. helpful to have, we don't need it for a lot in this practice, is a block. So if you have one, great. If you have anything near you that can be used as a block, great, but you don't have to have it. We just want to activate our inner thighs. We can simply imagine that there is something between our legs that we're hanging onto. And we use the imagery here, or an actual object, to activate the inner thighs. The inner thighs are directly connected to our pelvic floor. So let's start with a bridge. Inhale as we lift up, and exhale. So if we don't have something we can hold on to, just refrain from letting the knees roll out to the sides. Okay? Good. And here's number 4, 5. Good. 6. Visualizing your spine in a straight line, even with the hips lowering and lifting. Last one here, number 8. Good. So we're going to hold up here. Even if we have an imaginary prop between our legs. Move our shift our weight over to our left leg and extend 1. And we're going to switch 2. So let's take some coordination balance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it on down to the floor. Take our block out if we have one. Bring our knees in towards our chest. Good. Okay. So after our bridge work, let's move to our right side. Okay. And we're going to work with some rotation. So keeping our knees and hips pointing the direction that we're facing, let's inhale, lifting our top arm up. Exhale, rotating away without changing the position of our pelvis. Feeling our obliques control the rotation. Exhale, return. Inhale again, lifting up. Let the work come from the center rather than the hand or the arm. Pull it back. Good, deep breath in. Reach it out. And bring it back. Number 4, inhale, lifting up, deep breath in. Exhale, opening to where we can control it, and exhale, bring it back. Okay, so we're going to roll onto our other side. Okay. Again, our pelvis is square, knees are pointing in the same direction that we are looking. Take a deep breath in, we lift up. Exhaling, we rotate, again, without changing the position of our pelvis. And exhale, where we can control from the center, bring it on back. Deep breath in, we lift. Exhale, and return. 2 more. Deep breath in. Opening. Exhale, last one. Deep breath in. And exhale. Good. Pushing ourselves up from the floor, coming to an all-fours position. So we're going to work with some spinal movement here. Fist for wrist is an option if we find discomfort in the wrists. We can also use our hands on the floor here, but spreading our fingers will give us a nice strong base. So let's work with our spine from the tailbone to the top of our head, and one vertebrae at a time as we exhale, rounding into our cat stretch or spinal flexion. Good. And now, are we aware of Mula Bandha, our pelvic floor? How about Uddiyana Bandha? And how about our throat lock? So we're not throwing our heads back, we're just keeping that strong position of our head in line with our spine as we float back and forth from cat to cow. Let's visualize our spine like a string of pearls, with each pearl or each vertebrae moving individually to a certain degree. Exhaling and inhaling. Good. And let's make this our last one from our cat. Exhale, bring it into a rounding or flexed position, and then extend into our cow. Good. Next, we're finding a neutral position. Okay. So we're going to activate Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, keeping our spine nice and neutral. We're going to work with our shoulders here. If we push the floor away, we spread our scapula apart. That's scapular protraction. And find neutral. Push away, find neutral, push away, find neutral. One more. The key here is here as we push away, we're not collapsing into a rounded spine. We want to maintain neutral. Good. Let's go the other way. So we're retracting. Again, it isn't about the spinal extension. It's about the neutral spine and retracting our scapula. And return to neutral. Retract and neutral. Again, one more. Retract and neutral. Good. So with our neutral spine, activating all our stabilizers here, moving towards our arm movement in our shoulder joint. Okay. Alternating arms as we reach forward. Our arm needs only to come to the height of our shoulder. Good. And 4 is enough. We'll switch to the legs, maintaining the stability here through the upper body, the whole torso, and right into our pelvis. Here's where we let the hip joint move, extending one leg and then the other. While we switch, we are switching with little to no movement through our torso. Inhale and extend. Good. And the other side. Good. Let's bring it all together. So our left arm, right leg. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. You may want to put something on your back. It's a bit of feedback. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. So let's come into a child's pose, just relaxing with our hips towards our heels. Okay? Reaching our arms out, take a deep breath, expanding through our back body. Exhaling, finding softness and relaxation. Okay? Draw the shoulders back and down, so our shoulder blades are drawn into our back pockets with a slight bit of retraction. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Let's repeat that 8 times. So here we go is number 2. So watch that the hips don't drop, keeping that stability we formed at the very beginning. And 3. Good. Imagine a string pulling us from the top of our head. 4. Good. And 5. And 6. And 7. Deep breath in. Exhale as you come back. And 8, only 8 here. We're going to hold. Let's tuck our toes. Okay? So activating a little more of our lower body with our plank. Instead of just lifting, we want to contract the quadriceps and the glutes together with our pelvic floor and our belly lock. So there's 1. Press through the heels. 2. Good. And 3. And 4. Good. And 5. 6. Keeping the hips level rather than lifting them every time we extend the legs. 7. And 8. Now we can lift our hips and come from our plank to a downward facing dog. Good work. We can feel stability in our shoulders. Press the floor away and then relax, feeling the scapula sliding down the backs of our rib cage. Okay? All right, so we're going to come from downward dog into our plank. Shifting forward, inhaling, exhaling. So using our core, thinking about Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, our root lock, belly lock, as we lift our hips high. 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, good, 7, good, and 8. As we come forward here, create length here through the heels to the top of the head. Hold 3, press the floor away. 2, breathe 1, and exhale, release the knees. So we're going to do walking the plank, leading with the right arm. So from an extended arm position, we're going to come down one arm. 1, 2, back to the hands. 3, 4. Okay. The idea is to not rock the hips, keep them as stable as possible. So right, left, right, left. Switch lead arms. Left, right, left, right. One more. Left, right, left, right. Excellent. So we're going to come down onto our forearms. Good. Tucking our toes again. Pull our elbows towards our knees and extend. 1. Lower. 2. 3. 4. small rest. Come on down, rest our tummy. Good. So one of the things when we push ourselves back is we get sometimes a curve in our spine here, which can compress in our lower back. So what I want you to do is bring our forearms back to the position as though we're going into a forearm plank. Tuck our toes, start with our knees on the ground and lift the belly away. 1. Good. 2. Pull the elbows towards the toes. 3. 4. Keep doing that, or for the last 4, lift the knees and do the same thing. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Good. Let's press back, lifting with our tummy and into child's pose. Taking a little rest. So let's come through into our kneeling plank. Exhale and lower. Leaving our hands here, we're going to work with our upper back, give our wrists a bit of a break. We want to pull our thighs in together. Reach our toes away from the top of the head. Breathing in, working into cobra. So we're mostly working through the upper back and the strength here, combined with our shoulder blade retraction, but maintaining stability through our pelvis and lumbar spine. So deep breath in, exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthening, using our back strength. Stabilizing the lumbar and sacral spine along with our pelvis. And exhale, good. And inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do some arm reaches. So holding in our light cobra position, a little more if we've got that strength. Reaching our right arm out. 1. Left arm. 2. 3. And 4. Both arms if it feels good. 1, keeping our hands on the floor. 2, 3, and 4. Good. Let's lift with our tummy, press back into child's pose. Good. Let's tuck our toes. Use our hands as an anchor. Lift with our core, our hips nice and high from a strong pelvic floor and Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, watching where our chin is, keeping our throat locked to help align our cervical spine, our neck. Good. Inhale forward to a plank. Okay, all right. So let's go up into downward dog from our plank and repeat that 4 times, coming into a plank. Lifting nice and strong from our core. Lead the way like a string is pulling us from our tailbone forward. Lifting up nice and tall, controlling it with a steady movement, not too quickly, and excellent. Good. So we're going to do some toe touches here. Let's take our down dog feet a little wider to the edges of our mat from our plank. Take our right hand, reach it to our left foot, and come back. Lifting from the core center, doing the other side. Good, here's number 3. Using our breath, coordinating activation through our pelvic floor and our belly lock. Allowing our head to stay neutral, which is awareness of our throat lock. Good, and we've got 1 more each. Lifting tall, reaching, creating a little bit of oblique activation. Last one here. Good. And bringing it in. Good. So, we're going to walk down. If you need to lower your knees, you certainly can. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Other side. Remember, you can use your knees. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So we're going to come back down onto our forearms, this time crossing our arms over or across our mat, rotating to our right side as we extend our legs, lifting our left arm. 1, switching sides. 2, so a lot of shoulder stability here. You can see why our shoulders, or particularly our shoulder girdles, are an important part of core stability so that we effectively move through our shoulder joints. Good. Here and here. Let's let's stay on our left side, reaching our right arm up, okay? And underneath, rotate 1, lift, 2, just gonna do 4, 3, and 4, nice and controlled. Over to the other side, good job, rolling open and reach underneath and up, under and up. Keep the legs activated, the hips, last one. Good job. Bring it back here, lower the knees if you need that support. Come back into a child's pose and give ourselves a little bit of rest. Take a breath here as we expand through our breathing. Good. Deep breath in and out. Good. All right, so we're going to work into some downward dog movements and incorporating more planks. Okay, so let's reach our hips up nice and high. Okay, you may not be able to see the height of my leg in the video. That's okay. Reach up, exhale, come underneath. 1, reach, 2. Use the abdominals to pull the leg up from the floor. 3 and 4. Reach that, come to the side. Same elbow, but over and reach for an elbow touch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to cross. Little rotation. 1, opposite elbow. 2, 3, and 4. Other side. Good. From our down dog, lifting our left leg, bring it forward underneath, pull up. 1, and 2, 3, 4. A little more reaching as our knee goes to the elbow on the same side. 1, 2, 3, 1 more, 4, rotations for 1, 2, 3, last one, 4. Good job. Take a break. Downward dog or child's pose. Give ourselves a chance to breathe, reconnect with our body. If we need some wrist movement, we can certainly do that from child's pose while we use our elbows to anchor us and move the wrists around here. Good, so working towards a peak pose here. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting up. We're going to lower our right knee directly under our hip, place our right wrist under our shoulder, and lift nice and tall. So this is our side plank. Options here could include a leg lift. So as we lift the leg, it's the joint that's moving, but everything else, the pelvis, the lumbar spine, sacral and lumbar spine is nice and stable, including the shoulder girdle. Good. We're holding or moving our leg, whatever feels comfortable. Good job. Excellent. Let's finish with some rotations. 1, breathe. 2, good. Reaching underneath. 3 and 4. Good. Other side. Shifting back to our downward dog, resetting to the other side, bringing our left knee underneath, our hand, wrist right under our shoulder, knee under our hip. And we can take whatever option feels good here, or adding some leg lifting. Again, it's the hip joint that's moving, and careful not to kind of move through other body parts. Here's the course. Chance to work and create stability. Good, 1 more, 4, and underneath. 1. Good, 2, 3, and 4. Good work. Bring it back to both knees down, child's pose or downward dog. You can decide what feels best for you. Getting up there, just a couple more things to do here. Take a breath. Okay. Good. Downward dog. So we can certainly do the kneeling plank again, or we can come forward into our plank, rotate to the right. Okay. And we may do some leg work here. So lifting 1, 2, 3, 4, taking this top leg, bringing it in front of us here for some stability, or leaving it long and dipping our hips. 1, 2, this is what it looks like with our foot. 3, 4, good. So we're challenged here on this side, staying here in this side plank, maybe into a side tree, avoiding the knee if we're placing our foot there, and extending. Here's a good long work here, and an option to even move into an extended leg position in Titahasta. You got it. Deep breath in, 3 and 2 and 1. Good work. We're going to do that on the next side. That's the highest point of our intensity here. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So a kneeling version or our full side version. Okay, keeping our body nice and long. 4 movements working the side body. Lower and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Lifting our top leg. Maybe doing a tree. Find a position where we can work into a hold. Good job. Nice and stable. Lift tall. 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, bringing our foot down if we need it, and extending back. Good job. Let's come onto the floor, working our upper back just a little bit more here. A nice cobra as we hold. Good. Extend the arms. We can pause and hold here, or we can reach our arms in front, squeeze our legs together, and maybe we'll finish with a swim and flutter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anchor through the pelvis. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Big reach. Exhale. Bring the arms back and release. Lifting with our tummy, pressing back into child's pose. Good work. Come on forward, sitting onto our mats. Good work. All right. So let's take a couple of breaths together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, and down one side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, up and over. Nice tall reach. Good, and reach around. Nice twist to hold. Good. Let's do the other side. First of all, lengthening through our side body, up and over. Good. And back as we lift our opposite arm, crossing over. Nice tall stretch as we rotate. Good. And just work it out through the back with our arms crossed this way. Take a little walk forward. A big breath as we exhale. Let it all go. Good. And coming back to an upright position. Last one, nice and simple. Good. And walk our arms forward. Excellent. Good work. Okay, one more breath together. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, bring our hands down to our hearts. Good. The light and the energy in the core in me honors the light and the energy in the core in you. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Namaste.